All right, and we are live, and I want to welcome all of you to today's session. I want to tell you how I was able to create an amazing dashboard on my Power BI service. So this is the product. As you can see, I have my navigation page. I have on all of these navigation pages take me to each and every single one of my reports right here. I also have what I call my business report. Pardon, let's go back. I also have my business location. I have my summary. I have my hotel. Let's look at each of them. I have my summary. I have my agent and hotel performance. I have my customer type and agent and hotel analysis, and then I also have my KPIs and time exploration. So I am going to be taking you through the steps I took to actually get to this point in my visualization on Power BI. So this was a task I was given by someone, and I needed to work at it right away. So this is what our summary looks like. Yes. Okay, so I had to send my report when I was done visualizing to a friend who was able to help me give me an amazing background. As you can see all of these edges that is using Figma. Figma, most of the time, people who use Figma are basically those who are product designers, UI, UX designers. That is so. She did that and sent it to me, and all I needed to do was to copy most of my visuals and kind of search, put them across. So if you look at this visual, it's basically interactive. So if I get to click on you are going to see a lot of changes. You can see the total stays, couple of changes, just showing you 2019 how many total number of adults, total number of babies, total number of children, parking space by date. And if I uncheck that, we're right back to where we started. We could see the complete number of items on our Power BI report. So if I want to see zero, which is like it's the number of new arrival by cancel date. So it's zero, it's like cancelled. And if I want to check that, I'll probably go ahead to, every other thing changes, right? As much as we can change that. So I'm going to leave this page, the summary page, to the agent and hotel performance, and let's see what we have there. So this is our agent and hotel performance. We have the agent bookings and cancellation by lead time. We have agents and hotels. So if you want to see agent 5, 7, 9, 4, and so on, you could just click on each of them, and literally you would see the changes will be further throughout my report. So that's why I was able to do this and achieve this was basically because of the report that I created on my modeling tab right here, like modeling view or model view. And I was able to create a report or a connection or relationship between one thing and the other. So you could basically see the number of agent bookings by the country and perhaps PRT. That's the name of the country there. If you want to check the number of agent bookings, you just check how interactive this visual is. So we can go right ahead to look at the customer type and agent customer type, agent, and hotel analysis. And let's see what we have there. So these are all buttons. I could as well just click on them and it takes me to the next page, and that's it. This is the logo of the company using logistics. And you could see we have customer type, agent, and hotel analysis. These are the 3 years that have been present, repeated guest year. And in resort hotel, we had 11 repeated guests, while in city hotel, we had six. And you could see the rest of the analysis. Agent bookings by lead time is right there. Agent bookings by lead time and cancellation. This visual was actually imported from the Power BI service. So if you want to import new visuals from Power BI service, basically just go down to where you have get more visuals. You click on it, click on it, insert your email, your official email, get more visuals. Yeah, insert your official email and ensure that you can get connected to the internet. These are the ones I actually imported from the internet for this particular visual. So this one right here, this is it. It's called the rider charts. All right. And we can go ahead to the next page, or let's use our button and click. Let's move to the next page. And that's it. Right. So we get to the next page, and here we are with the KPI and time analysis. Let's see if we have another one. Okay, this is the total meal revenue that we're able to generate, the total number of orders, 515 total guests, some of waiting list. And we have meal by weeknight, we have number of orders by meal, we have total meal by meals, and so on and so forth. So we probably want to look at, let's say, meal revenue by market segment. Let's look at the corporate market segment, which had a total revenue of £3,000 roughly. And if we click on the corporate segment, you literally see that if you come here, you would see it reflects £3,000 basically, and the rest of the visual have been highlighted or delighted. If there's anything like that, delighted alongside, right? So yeah, and I discovered that towards the end of my analysis, I discovered that there is definitely going to be something like a forecast, right? So to get the forecast, I had to, because we're given 3 years from our initial analysis or data set, and to get a forecast, basically, what we had to do was to create a forecast that takes us from 2020 to 2021 to 2022, 2023, and then all the way to 2024. So if we click on this, you would see another extra analysis pane will appear under visualization. When you click on that, basically, you would see go down, you would see forecast, which you have to put it on. Okay. I used the let's see the visual I used. Good entirely and click on line chart, right? So maybe I'm gonna rename this page one. Let's see. I'm gonna have to rename this forecast, right? So forecast, hit enter. Good. Then I'm gonna save this. So we have forecast, and I choose the line chart. Just go to a new page, click on the line chart, right? And then get your year, all right, under your table, under the combined years table, get your year and then your total revenue. And let's see what else. Let's just see what else was there. So it's still loading, just give it a sec. Right, so we have, yeah, So we can basically scroll down. All right, so that's what we have, just the year and the total meal revenue, and that'll be it. Okay, so when you put that together, it's gonna come up without the forecast. So click on the body of the chart you just imported, and click on forecast, which is add further analysis. Make sure you put it on, and then use your points, because we are basically working on points and the forecast length. So we have 2020, we have 2021, we have 2022, 2023, 2024. So that is the forecast length of 4, right? If you want to get it to 2025, you could put forecast length of 5, and so on and so forth. Yeah, we can ignore the last seasonality. You make sure it's 365, because we are looking at per annum, like yearly. If you want to create a forecast that looks at basically every month, you could just put like 30 or 30 or 31. We have to confidence level of 99%. Basically, just being moderate, not to put 100%, because we want to be really confident about our forecast. Okay, so our forecast line, you can choose to put it black or solid. This is the color I choose, and make it transparent or not, a confidence band. So it's good to explore all this. We use a fill, you could use line and none of that, right? It's good to explore these options and get to see exactly what really works. All right, so the problem or the question is going to be, how did we get to this point, where we're able to visualize all of this? And let's take you back to the data view. All right. So basically, this is the data we have for 2018. We have this for 2019. We also have the same similar data for 2020. So let's go back to our question. So what was it like? This is the BI Insights Manager case study. Hotel revenue management is the name of this case study. So I was given this and I was sent this question. My job as a BI Insight Manager is to prepare a deep dive analysis report in Power BI about the hotel revenue management data set. So the requirements are as follows. Number one, the client does not want an intro page, um, but suggests a vertical or horizontal navigation bars or pop-up menu. Preferred size has to be 16:9, not scrollable. Like you can see, basically, how was I able to achieve that? If I come back to the report menu, you can either choose, let's say, where is it? Go to your view menu, right? And you are going to see the view page. If you open it, always choose fit to page, because if you say fit to width, let's click on it and see the difference. So if you say, you can see scrollable, right? You can basically scroll up and down. That's not what the client wants. If you say actual size, so you are going to see have the actual size of the visual, but you are still going to have to scroll. Okay, so you can either go to the view menu and change it right here, or you go to your analytics pane and go to your format, and then, oh wow, so this, you need to click outside the chart so that you can see what I want to show you. So I've clicked outside. You go to your report page, you go to your page information, it's not there. You go to your canvas settings, and there it is. So you see it on the canvas settings. Make sure you choose 16:9, which is what was required of you. And we go back to the tags client like KPIs, you could see that I actually created my KPIs right there, which is key performance indicators. And I created that because I wanted to meet the clients. I wanted to meet the clients request, right? So these are my key performance index to show basically what the total meal revenue is like, what the number of others is like, the total guests, and so on, and to see how it compares to the success or not of number of hotels or number of orders by meal, and if this hotel is actually making a lot of money or not. Probably also help the client to see what they need to improve on. And that's why I also have time analysis, exploration, seasonality, festive periods, weekday versus weekend, and so on. So if you basically look at the chart I created, you would see there was always a comparison between weekdays and weekends. And we can see that, let's say, from, let's look at customer type. Okay, we don't, let's look at agents and hotel performance. So you could see agents on a hotel by lead time, bookings, right? Agent bookings by average daily rate. And if you look at the summary, you would also see weekdays and week times and weekdays and all of that, right? So it's it's a matter of what can I do to make my clients happy in that case. And client is interested. This is number five now. Client is interested in agent's performance overview, right? So we literally did that by creating a page, hotel and agent and hotel performance. Okay. So I can go on and look at client is interested in any other insights, providing further information on customers, type, that's family with children, singles or couples, and so on. So when you are required to model the data, and reports are not limited by the number of pages or techniques. So feel free to use all the techniques at your disposal, tooltip, drill throughs, page navigations, and which I just so these are all page navigations, right? These all these buttons you see here are page navigations. We applied some filters to it as well. And so there are three data sets that was sent to me. The first one is the hotel management tags on Excel, contains 100,000 plus records, and the data dictionary, and of course the calendar. So one may ask, what exactly is a calendar, right? What exactly is a calendar? So if you want to know what the calendar is, this is what was sent to me. Okay, I should open it right away. So calendar table, open that. All right, so this is the calendar that was sent to me. Okay, you can see that. So one would be like, what the heck is this? You know, how what all these numbers and all these codes? What am I going to do with it? So I'm going to show you what you are going to do with it. So this is the Excel file, Microsoft Excel file that was sent. We have 2018, you have 2019, you have 2020, and then you have the market segment. Basically, the data is not clean. You could see some character there, and you could see column one and column two. So you basically need to clean this on Power BI. It's the same thing here. You have column one and two, and it's called the cost meal. Okay. So from our dictionary, I remember to have the dictionary here. I okay. So our dictionary basically is the client telling you what he wants or what she wants or what they want in for you to do, like describing what every single thing that have been sent to you, what exactly it is. Then you must remember that sometimes they will give you some colors that you basically use. I'm not so good with colors, but if you tell me that you want black, you want purple, orange, or purplish, or whatever people call colors, so many colors, right? I could literally just go to Google and type the code for that color. Basically, I could just like type the code. For instance, okay, let's do this together. I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna say color code. Let's do that. So I'm gonna say color, no, no, color code for purple and hit enter. So when you do that for purple, you can literally see this, right? So you have hashtag AO2050. So if you copy this, right, and copy and then go to your Power BI, let's open a new page. So I'm gonna cancel this. Let's say I want my background to be that color, like purple. Then I'm gonna go right ahead, click on page information. I'm gonna click on canvas background. Then I'm gonna click on color. Make sure I click on more colors. And then this is where I put the codes. Where you have hex, just paste the code right there. And no, did I copy that correctly? I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back and copy this. Copy, go back to your Power BI and open your color and more colors and paste this here. Right, good. So that's my purple right there. And I'm gonna reduce the transparency to, let's say, 0. And voila, that's it. So that's my purple visual. Okay, basically. So you can go back to the data that was given to you, the dark blue, just color these codes or whatever code you've gotten. And of course, you can save the company logos. You can use any of them for your visualization. So I'm going to go back to my Power BI. So let's say I need my white back. I'm going to just increase my transparency. So I want to insert, I want to get the data from my Excel workbook, like the data that was sent to me. I want to take you guys through it all from beginning, basically just telling you some of the things I did that got me to that point. So yeah, this is the data dictionary. I should have, um, so I'm going to click on this. Should have opened the dictionary so that you get to see the content. So it's loading, right? So when it's done loading, you would see some tables will come under data. Yeah, so I have my 2018. You got to check all of them: 2018, 2019, 2020, market segment, and then meal costs. So when you are done with this, then you now click on transform data, not load, because load literally takes you to your report. But with transform data, you are going to have to look at it closely, like look at your data set much more closely on your Power Query editor. That's exactly what I want to do. Da, 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 na, 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 So while we wait, while it's loading, let me entertain you and praise you for listening. I'm so proud of you, my dear. I'm so proud of you. All right, don't mind my voice. So here we are. We have 2018, we have a 2019, we have a 2020, and of course, we have a market segment. So we could just go through each of them and see what we need to do. So, first thing first, I would basically want to combine the three tables together, like 2018, 2019, and 2020 together. So, for me to achieve that, I'm going to literally go online and click on append queries. So now let's look at using images, the differences between append query and merge query. So I'm gonna just type append queries. Okay, I think I have this. Just gonna click on that, and I love images because they kind of help me to explain this thing better. So so these are the differences. Let's look at these images. So append query, it's basically like I have three things and you have three things. So basically, let's join these three things we have together and they become six when we do that. So a pen is basically a combination. If you look at this image, it says we have table A, B, C, and D, table one that is, and we have table two contains A, B, C, and D. Meanwhile, table one has just number one under table A and number five under table A for table B. So you want to append because they have similar columns. It doesn't matter the content, as long as they have similar columns, some similarity that can be combined together without distorting the data, then you are good to go. And look at this one there, ABC and ABCD. Basically, D is the only column that's not there. So when you append, you can see that under C and D, you could see some null values right there. So you could look at the append queries here, it's still the same thing. You can look at combine or append data here, it's still basically the same thing. So let's look at uh, merge. Okay, so this is merge, a clear example of what merge is. So merge is like I have three oranges and you have one orange and three eggs. I take that again. For merge queries, it works like I have three oranges, but you have one orange and two mangoes. Let's say I have three oranges, you have one orange and three mangoes. For merge queries means, you know what, since you have an orange, just give me your orange and add it to mine. And that's how what we do when we say merge query. So you just take one thing that looks really, really exact or similar in the other data set and kind of merge it with the one you're working with, basically. So but for this one, I'm basically going to be using append queries because I want to combine 2018, 2019, and 2020 together. The columns are all the same, right? So why not? So we want to go to append, just click on one of them, go to append queries, and make sure you append as new. Now, what that means is that when you append as new, you are literally saying, I want you to combine these three tables together and create a new table entirely, and we're going to call that table maybe combined table or combined years. But if you say append queries, you may kind of see like 2018, 2019, 2020. You wouldn't see that again like separately. They may all come together as a single table, but we still want to see them. We don't want to miss them. We still want to see these tables while we combine them as new, which is like append queries as new. So when you do that, let's see what else is going to appear. So we have two tables, of course. We have three or more. So 2018 is already here. You simply click on 2019, click on add, 2020, click on add. When you're done, you click on OK, and you are going to see append one. So now we have 2018, 2019, and 2020 together on this same table. Well, there is a DAX expression to show us that we have table.combine bracket open 2018, 2019, and 2020. But we want to basically edit this, rename it rather, and we want to call it combine rather. Want to call it combine years and enter. So that is it, right? And what else? Let's go to the market segments. So this doesn't make any sense. Column one, column two. So we need to make sure that if you go to our data dictionary, you definitely see that we are supposed to have our market segment table, not like column one and column two. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to, if you look here, you would see discount and market segment. This is what it's supposed to be at the top. Like, this is what we want to see to be the name of our column. So we are going to click right here, like left hand side of the first column, and use first row as headers. That didn't work. So we're gonna try it again. Use first row as headers. Awesome. So we are good. So now you can see that the numbers are now properly arranged and the market segment is also properly arranged. So we go to meal cost. We do the same thing, make first row as headers and make another first row as headers, and that's it. So we have, this is the cost of the meals and these are the name of all the meals. So the next thing we want to do is we want to look at the possibility of calculating, like, okay, now we know that this is the name of the meal, like undefined, BB, HB, FB, and SC. Please remember these names. You could literally maybe like write them down. So under undefined, we have zero, like no meals, right? Or maybe the meal's name is undefined. We don't know, but that's just what the data says. And BB, it's 12.99 cents, or maybe dollars or pounds. And HB is 17.99, and 21 is for 21.99 is FB, and SC is 35. So how do we get the um the cost of these meals? How do we get to know the total meals that we actually bought from this particular column or this particular hotel? I beg your pardon. So let's go to combine years, and let's do something like we want to add a new column, okay? And we want to call that column the meal price, because we only have meal cost now. But what is the price of the meal? We have the meal cost, then we have the price, okay? So we need to look at meal price, and I want to insert that into a combined table, and I'm going to click on add column. Definitely, I want to click on custom column. And for the custom column, then just take your time and look at all these columns, like look at all the columns in your combined years to make sure that everything is fine. And under new column name, I'm going to call it the meal price. Then my custom column formula, I'm going to say if, because we're using the if statement, if the meal, let's say, yeah, if the meal, if you either double click or click on meal and click on insert, oh wow, that should be just one. Right. So if the meal equals Don't forget our meal name equals BB, right? Then we want to use the if else statement here because that's the only way this will work. Then 12.99 else if, right? Else if the meal, you can insert it, equals to HB. Okay, then what's the name of the meal price for HB or the meal cost for HB, which is 17.99. Else if, okay, if meal again equals, in this case we have the FB, right? Then 29.99 else if, then finally we remember we had four meals, else if this equals um SC, then 35. Now, if actually everything else is not here, then we call everything else zero. Right, so no syntax errors have been detected. This is where you can learn more about Power Query formulas. And having said that, we are basically going to create our new column name, new calculated column when we hit on OK. Right, so this is our meal price basically. So we may choose to change this to decimal number, right? And let's see if we can do something about the, let's see. All right, so yeah, that's what we can do. We can change the currency when we get back to our report. Okay. So another thing I did was basically to ask myself, how are we going to create our KPIs? And I just actually solved one of that by saying that for KPI, we need to ask ourselves, is it the cost that drive our sales? Is it the cost of the meal? Is it the cost of the meals that actually drive our sales or not? Okay, so we need to ask ourselves that question. And when you ask yourself that question, you find out what exactly you need to do, right? What exactly you need to do when it comes to visualization. So I'm going to click on close and apply just to take us back to our project, right? Like our file, or basically our project. So I'm going to click on apply changes just so it loads. And you can see there was nothing under our data. But once we click on close and apply, and the changes will definitely want to be applied to our report. And so we can wait for that to come up. All right, so it's loading 2018, 2019, 2020. You could see our market segment, our meal cost, I needed to do was scroll down. What? Where is my combined years? So I'm gonna wait while it's kind of loading. Right. I guess by now it's done loading. That's all right. So it's loading. So we'll literally see our. I hope I'm still online. All right. So we can literally see. So let's wait for it. All right, so I think we now have a combined years. But before we even start or think about visualizing, we need to check our model. We need to remember it was one of the requirements or one of the questions. It said you are required to model the data. So we must do that. So I'm going to close this and so everything that was 2020 or 2019 and all of that is going to be totally off. So that's just it, right? I'm going to delete this relationship and I'm going to concentrate on only 2020. Yeah, you have to delete this. So you maybe you can just go ahead and study what's there, like study the relationship, see how Power BI automatically created a relationship between one table and the other. Okay, I'm right back. And apologies for the long break in transmission. I'm just going to continue from talking about the data set that was given to me, right? So let's do this. So I remember saying that I needed to disconnect all the relationships I have from 2018, 2019, and 2020, and basically concentrate building relationships with just the combined year, and that's it. So I have to delete the relationships. So all I need to do is click on the arrow. It's the one it's too many relationship, that is, click on each of them and delete them. Okay, so that I have just the combined years to work with. Yes, of course. So I can just arrange this here and make sure I take this maybe up there. So there's something else. I need to remove this. I don't need 2019. So I can delete this. And also delete this. Right, so we have just the relationship between this, and this. So let's find out what we have here. Market segment. Good. There's a market segment here. So market segment is the market segment, and meal. Let's see what we have. Meal. Right. So we have meal and meal. Good. So we've created a relationship between these two tables, combined years market segment, and of course the meal cost. So we are not done. We have to go back now to our data view, and let's look at the combined years because that's what we're working with now. And I'm going to search for meal price. This is the meal name. I'm going to search for meal price. You can see that it's very possible to actually delete some columns. I did delete some columns on my other. So meal price, I'm going to check. I like that. And go right here and put the currency in dollars. Make sure it is okay, it's still loading. Yeah. Make sure it's like one decimal place. No. Okay, let's make it two because we can't we can't summarize anyone's meal price to $13 when that's not what the person paid, right? So yeah, we make it two decimal places, currency, data category, some, yeah, leave it uncategorized, and then summation, and that's it, right? So we may want to look at a couple of other places here, like let's say, all right, yeah, there's something else that's missing, and I want to do something about that. So let's go back to our home and transform data, which will take us back to our Power Query editor. Remember the calendar that was sent, the calendar detail or the calendar values that was sent. Now we want to use it. It's time for us to use that calendar detail. So we are going to insert the calendar, and because we don't have any dates, like we don't have a date table, so we can't really do so much about who came in, what who did they come in with, at what date did they leave, and things like that. Those details are very necessary. So I'm going to right click and then click on new query. Okay, and click on blank query because we're not bringing in anything. Okay, now that we've clicked on blank query, just come to your calendar. Make sure you copy everything here. Copy and come to advanced editor, which is under home tab. Click on advanced editor and then remove everything here. Basically, this is how you get to send codes of everything we've done. Like if I go to combine years, and okay, let's just do that. Let's go to combine years, right? And then let's look at the advanced editor. So you would see this is everything we've done, right? This is the column we added. This is we combined the table. Don't forget using the append queries. That's let source blah blah table dot combine all the tables there. Then we add a custom column. We put and then that is it. That's the code. Like you can literally copy this and then send it to a friend, and then they'll just kind of edit. But now, when you send this to a friend, it is expected that your friend should have at least the data source in their computer or in their database. If they don't have it on their database, they may have to like find out, locate the source of that data. Okay, so and then come to your advanced editor and edit it. So we can go to query, which is what they are blank query, then come to advanced editor and highlight all of this and then paste everything and be sure there's no syntax error. So the first, all of these is basically these are all comments. Okay, the start date is 2020, first of 2020, 12th of 31st, which is the end date. Remember when I was talking about forecast, we had 2024. If there was 2025 here, which is the end date, then we would have considered building a forecast up till 2025. But at this time, there's no error, so we're going to click on done. You don't need to do anything, like the code is right there and the person expects. So the start date, let's go back and confirm what the start date was from our comment. So the start date is 2020, first of first, and we're going to go back there and we click on start date, first of first, 2020. And let's look at the other one. Example is 3rd of 31, 2020. That's the format. So you come right here. And end date is 31st of 12, 2024. So we come here and say 31st to 31st of 12, 2024. And then the financial year start month period is 1. The WD start number is 1. So if you can come actually confirm that, you can see financial start month number is 1. Holidays is optional, of course. That's weekday start number is 1. And then that's the code, right? So when you're done, okay, this is not correct. So we basically have to change this to 12/31st, 12 31st. That's the order that we are told we have to arrange it. And that's good now. And there's no error. So you can now click on invoke. We want to invoke it. When you invoke Viola, that is the formula. Okay. That is a formula for, well, it's not a formula, like that's the code. Okay, that's the query. So we're going to rename our invoked function. We want to rename it as the date function or the date query, and then we hit on OK. All right, so you may want to go through the columns because I literally had to, in my previous visual, I had to remove some columns like month and year. Totally not necessary because we already have month and year right here. Just the numbers is not just okay. So if you want to delete that, you kind of like, month and year, come over here and click on remove columns. And I could just take my time to look at all of the columns and do just that. But for this one, I just want to show you how I was able to do this, then close and apply. So now we have 2018, 2019, 2020 combined years and market segment and cost. So we have another one that will be appearing right now, which is going to be called the date column or the date table. The date table. All right, so it's done loading, so we could see how it looks like. So yeah, we have our date column or dates query right there. So let's go to our model and be sure everything is fine. Oh, everything is not fine. Where is our date column? Where are you? Good. So we're gonna take these and put it right here, and let's see what we want to do. So what can we do? Dates and dates. Let's see how we can combine and create some relationship. Still starting to find out what I need to create a relationship with. So let's say uh, arrival date and year. So I'm gonna click on dates to arrival date. Okay, so having done that, I've connected the date table to the combined years table. I'm gonna go back to my report. So this time around, I want to I want to add some new measures. Like we want to find out what's the total number of what's the total meal revenue like. Okay. What was it like? The total money that was made from making sales. Okay. I'm going to click on new revenue or sorry, new measure under the home tab, and my DAX expression. I need to be top notch at it to really understand what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to rename this. You can see my cursor, that's where I am. I'm going to rename this total meal revenue. And basically, it's saying a sum, right? We want to add, what are we adding? We just want to add the cost. Then we should have the total meal revenue, okay? For combined years, of course. Or let's just type combined years. We don't waste time. Type it and search for costs. Um, uh, no, it's not going to be cost. It's going to be meals. Sorry, we have cost under because we already have the meal price. Okay, yeah, this is it. So total meal revenue, we have the meal price, and that's it. And we hit enter. So we want to find out. Is it done? Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Total meal revenue. So we want to find out the total number of guests. So we go back there and click on new measure. So for guests, remember we have babies, we have adults, and we have children. So we want to know how many guests did this hotel have over time. So we can call these total guests. Okay, and then we can insert our sum. Because we are looking at combined years table. Then this is our combined years adults. Okay, plus add sum again. Combined years we look for babies. All right. Then plus sum combined years. Then we look for children, and then we close our bracket and hit enter. Okay, it says the sum function only accepts a column reference as an argument. So let's see if we can add that and hit enter. Okay, let's find out what the problem is. Okay, let me start this all over. So we have some of combined years, adults, plus some combined years, babies, plus some combined years, children, and this should work really. All right, I guess this works. I think I don't know what the problem was, but if I want to combine the total number of guests, so we have adults, babies, and children. Okay. So that's it, and we have the total number of total guests. So if you see my cursor, we could see the total guests right here. Let's see if there's another thing we need to do. So let's create another new measure, maybe the last one, and we want to find out the number of orders that was made throughout the year 2018, 2019, and 2020. So we can call this number of orders. And we want to simply look at count rules, right, which is the function for this. And we want to look at the combined years. And bracket close and then hit enter. Number of others, the formula is equals count rules. We want to know the number of others in the combined years table. And that should give us something reasonable. All right, so we have number of others. Okay, I think this makes a whole lot of sense. So we can go to our report view. I'm just going to visualize a few of them. Let's check the visual. I'm going to use the card. and I'm going to look at the total meal revenue. As to see how much is there. 2.1 million. So we need to go back to put some currency in that, or we can actually go back to our visual, come here and see if we can do something about it. Display units. This is where you can change it to thousands and millions and all that, right? So if you click on thousands, you'd see, but we have 2.1 million. Let's click on thousands. Let's see what's going to be there, right? So you can see that in thousands, but we want to keep it in millions. Okay, so right, so what I was looking for. So count, make sure it's in dollars. I hope it's affected now. Data category, categorize. So let's go back and check. It's still not there. So let's transform our data. Close. I guess it's not just, it's possible to put some currency value in front of 3.1 million, but it's pretty much dicey to find where I can locate it. But With a little bit more time, I can do that really. Oh well, so let's go back and maybe try another thing, and let's see total meal costs and uh, let's say total guests. Yeah, 277,000, and total number of orders. Another one. Total number of orders. Yeah, so we basically can arrange this, like make it look that cool. Okay, so total number of orders. Crazy. Why this one appeared in currency? Okay, guys. So I think that's basically how I was able to clean my data, look at it carefully, and I was able to do all of that cleaning, merging, creating calculated columns, looking at the colors, very important, and then the logo of the company or the client. And what else was I able to do? Import a new measure, like create a blank query where I could import code from a calendar, like a notebook, right? And what else did I do? Now this is page one, so kind of like I could have another page two and put in another visual explaining what else the client wants me to explain, and that's it. Basically that's just how I was able to come to a conclusion of all of this, really. So I hope this gets to assist you to know what you need to do in terms of when you are given a data set and you are asked to visualize the data set. Don't be in a hurry to visualize it. Actually pay absolute attention to what the content, what the problem is, because you need to understand the problem. If you understand the problem, then it will be far easier for you to create different types of solutions for it. Okay, so I hope I was able to, you know, perform some interesting assist to explaining how I was able to actually clean my data, look at it the other way around. To Thursday in weekends, basically use your calculated columns and then add the total weekdays that are there using the sum function. Total days in weekends, the same thing, total number of adults. Just basically use your sum function to your DAX expression to get all of that. And then agent bookings by cancellation of time, you can see if I click on this basically, and I get to see that in my x-axis I looked at the lead time, and in my y-axis right here I looked at the agent bookings and then the cancellation of the agent bookings over time. And then this is the number of agent bookings by country, and this is a funnel chart. Okay, so I went over the customer type and just did a little bit more stuff differently by looking at repeated guests by hotel, some of agents by year, customer demography by type and hotel. So I could just expand this, put it in a focus mode by clicking the funnel icon. Let's see. No, 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 not the funnel icon. The second icon, which is the focus mode, and that should kind of make my visual to be bigger than what it is. And This is actually a scatter chart. So when you insert your play axis, what you keep in your play axis, let me see, yeah, is a hotel. So you get, when you click on play, you get to see the different movements between one city hotel and the other. So you can go back to your report. We can check the KPIs. So this is our logo. But if you click on the logo, it will now take you to the website of the client. Okay, and this takes you back to the first, to the previous page, and this takes you home. So we can click this. It's going to take us home. So this is like our home page. Well, I hope I was able to explain a couple of things and how I was able to visualize that data, look at it carefully, clean it, and then make it worthwhile. Okay. So thank you for listening. That was how I was able to clean the data, make it worthwhile, and just present it. It can be better. It could have been better than what it is now, but that is a start. So again, the summary of what we did: we actually imported the data, we looked at it on Microsoft Excel, we took it all the way to Power BI, we transformed the data, we looked at the content, we combined the years by appending the queries. We now created a, renamed it as combined years, which is the appended queries. And then we moved over to look at the calendar values, like using the advanced editor. We're able to import some new codes into Power BI, kind of cleaned it, follow the instructions, the start date and the end date. From the end date, we actually know that okay, these guys would need some kind of forecast, and from there we moved over to the meal segment, the cost segment. They provided us with all this, so we can calculate what's the total meal gonna be like, what's the total orders that was made in a period of time, what's the total number of guests. We go ahead, what's the total weekdays or guests came, what's the total times babies or children came to the hotel. We can actually explore all of these by creating new measures and calculated columns for them, and insert our navigation tools in the main content of the work. Follow the colors and make sure you pay attention to the codes, the color code. That is, I searched for that on Google, and you can go back and watch and see how I was able to do that. Copy and paste, the colors would come. You don't need to know how to get the colors, just get the code. An exact color would come up on Power BI, and that's how I was able to get to where I was, creating that amazing visual you saw, which was perhaps not perfect but could be improved upon. But again, could be used for analysis. You could just publish it to your Power BI service online, send the link or send the email to a team member to look at it, maybe share a few corrections, observations, and you'll be good to go. And thanks so much for listening.